Let's see what happens when we allow ourselves to experiment with our supplies. Today I'm using plastic wrap, my palette, a block of paper, and some fun techniques. Watch to the end so you don't miss how I made changes that made me go from liking it to loving it. All over, and I'm just going to plop down a lot of fall colors. I have some orange already out on my palette. I'm going to swirl that around. I'm going to get some off. Okay, more pigment. All of this is going to get moved all around when I put on that saran wrap. And it's going to gather in the wrinkles of the saran wrap or plastic wrap and then dry with a really cool pattern. Now up here I'm going to actually put some green where some leaves might be. Some more of the green gold. This is just my regular everyday 48 pan palette. I don't use all 48 colors at once, but I just like having them available. I'm going to get a special one called Serpentine Genuine and just plop it in here. Okay, I think that's good. Now I just have some regular film. And I see it's pooling a lot, so I'm going to just spread it around. And I'm thinking about how pumpkins have up and down patterns. So I am going to spread this around like this and wrinkle it up really good. Get some wrinkles in the leaves. A little more here. I got a bigger piece than I thought I would need so that I could wrinkle it. And then you can put a book on top of it and wait for it to dry. This is all dry, and you can tell that the areas where I had more pigment, I have more contrast from the wrinkles in the plastic wrap, and I have less down here where I had less pigment. I'm going to work with it though. I'm going to try to carve out a pumpkin out of this paper. You can also do it again. You can re-wet the paper, put more pigment on, and put the plastic wrap on, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to use my spray bottle. Maybe not as much water this time. I'm going to grab the cadmium orange. I think I'm going to put some purple down here. Can never go wrong with purple. And I think I'm going to get some of this. This is transparent orange. Ooh, look at that. I always forget I have this. I'm going to be really generous with this pigment. I'm going to get some of the serpentine green. Some more orange. I'm going to put a lot of orange down here. I think this might form a really pretty shadow. Okay, now I'm going to get that paper stretched out. I have the same piece. I have a thing of pencils. Okay, I'll be back when that's dry. Let's see how it did. Well, we can see that there is quite a bit of texture, and I can see a pumpkin, probably because I painted it with the anticipation of making a pumpkin in the middle. So I'm going to now use some of the purple. I'm going to mix that brown in there too, and that little bit of blue. Get some more purple. I'm going to add a little bit of ultramarine blue. And I'm going to go ahead and just sort of carve out a pumpkin here. Get some dark green. I think this is jadeite genuine. Put a little bit over here. Just seeing what happens. I have not done this before. I didn't practice ahead of time. Seeing how we can make this into something different and interesting. I think I'm going to get a little bit of burnt umber, add that to this mix. I want to keep some of the texture down here, not do too much, keep it interesting looking, and do a stem first. Coming out of here. That's a little too much water. I'm going to take some of the water up. I'm going to add some of this purple. That'll darken it. Okay, green. I think I'll do just some really misshaped. Gotta do something. I think I'll just glaze. That looks kind of neat. Do another one. I'll glaze on the inside of this one too. Get some serpentine genuine and plop in there. Get some more jadeite. Just use sap green, whatever you have. Mix it if you want to mix it. When those dry, I may put another leaf behind the stem, but I can't do that yet. I also can't really do much here because that's wet. So I'll come back when it's dry. I think I'm actually going to make that stem have some texture. I'm going to grab a pen. I'll just use the tip of this pen and draw lines, squiggly lines, throughout that stem. Take some of that water out. And all you do is use a damp brush and drag it along, and it will soak up water. And now I want to replace some of that pigment in there with less water to pigment ratio. I was looking at this and I remembered I have Cascade Green. I can add some of that in here, just a little more, for a little more drama. Just add it into this wet paint. And again, like whatever colors you happen to have, just use that. See how your stuff works together. And if you see what I'm doing and you like it, then great, get some of it. Most of what I have is because I saw another artist using it. I'm going to go over this one more time. I decided to also go ahead and do some striations in the leaves. It is all dry, and off camera I've been getting some puddles of paint out because I want to finish the top of this, and then I want to do something to this to make it look less flat. So I got out a special color that I hardly ever use, and I wish I would remember to use it more, is ultramarine turquoise. I want to put another leaf, but I want it to be way back here and behind this little vine. I'm probably going to have to put that little vine over it again. And then I'm going to go like, get some of this. I'm going to use the number 2 for this. I'm going to do this little vine. And do one coming off of this leaf. And then I'm going to put a little leaf, put another leaf on the end of this, kind of going off the page. And I'm going to hit it with some water, spread it out a little. And this one needs a little bit more something. I think I want this leaf to come out behind that. This is all impromptu. So when you go to do it, you're going to do the same. Now I'm leaving a little space here for the back of the pumpkin. I'm going to put something back here to define that, and I'm going to also define this. So here I'm going to get some of this purple, and right up next to that leaf, I'm going to finish this background. Get some of this turquoise. It's a little too the same as the leaf. I think I'm going to do, this is horizon sky, I don't know, horizon blue. Get a little bit of the transparent orange back here. I'm going to just do that with a damp brush. I didn't want there to be this hard line drying right here. Okay, I'm going to leave that to dry. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing like I did over here next to this leaf. Kind of brightens it up. and separates the background from the foreground. It's not all one color. Nothing wrong with that. To vary the color, I'm going to dip into that turquoise. Get some of this transparent orange in here. And then on this leaf, I'm going to put in some green gold. I think I'm going to bring this down a little further because it's going like this. So this needs to define. Get some blue in there. Make that spooky looking. Look what that's doing. Who would have thought that horizon blue and transparent orange would be really neat looking? Okay, finish off this leaf. I'm going to go right up to that stem. Get some horizon blue in between. Now I'm going to take some of this purple and bring it down. We need a little more contrast here next to this leaf. And I'm going to use a damp brush and blend it in. Okay, now while that is sitting and doing its thing, we can work down here. And I want to get, this is burnt umber. I'll put it here with a little bit of this purple. And I want to get a little more definition down here, but I don't want it to be so hard. So what I'm going to do is I put that down with a damp brush. I'm going to do this. Just spread it around and soften it. I think I'm going to get some of the transparent orange and add that in here. We want that orange shadow to come up onto the pumpkin's body. Soften that. I'm going to get a little more. And it looks like it's mixing with the burnt umber, and it looks really good. I'm going to add some more purple here. I still want to keep this, so I'm not going to do a whole lot right here. Now damp brush to soften that and leave that texture there. Okay, we have a whole lot of things that are wet, so I'm going to go out and dry this, and we'll see what we should do next. This is almost dry, so while that is still mixing and doing its thing, I'm going to work on the front of the pumpkin. I'm going to use some cadmium orange mixed in with this. And this is my number 2, silver white. I'm going to define, sort of tease out just giving it a little bit of shape and defining this in here. I think we still have work to do on that, but for now I'm just going to keep doing this. And if you like your pumpkin like this, by all means, just leave it like this. I think this is adorable. I'm really happy with this. More the process than really how it looks, but I do like how it looks. This is really fun. I really liked doing the background. I liked trying to tease out what to do with what I had going here. I really encourage you to give this a try. Get some yellow. Okay, now I'm going to get a number 6, and I want to soften these lines with some water. And then back here, I'm going to make this a little more orange. A little more green. No, not green, because green is on the leaves. This is how you work things out. You think you're going to try something, and then you realize, no, can't do that. You can do what you want, but it's, I'm going to get some opera. That looks good. Oh, I love that. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to do an opera line right here, and then another one here. I think I'm going to splat. I'm going to get a little more opera and a little more water, and I'm going to splat. I'm going to get a little bit of this too and splat this. Some more opera, and I want to get some cadmium, and I want to get some yellow. I think this is so pretty. And it's so fun. Kind of darken underneath here, a little bit more purple. And I'm going to add a little more shadow. I'm going to add some shadow to the sides of the pumpkin, so that it looks more round. Maybe I can add some more green here. Some water. And some more of the opera. Oops, that's orange. Now I think up here I'm going to splat some green. And I think in here, I won't want to do too much to this because then we'll wreck the whole background effect. So I'm going to slow my roll and take stock of this. If you don't know what you're painting, for instance, when I'm painting this, I don't see the depth. When I look at it in a photo, I see the depth. I can see that this is a rounded back of the pumpkin and that the stem is coming out of the middle. And it does look, in a photo, it looks like this is round because this is a brighter area of the painting. And then I made sure that these are a little bit darker on the edges so that it looks like it's wrapping around to the back. I think all I'm going to do now is darken the stem and then do a little bit more to the leaves so there's a little more contrast between the leaves and the orange. So I'm going to get some purple, mix it with some burnt umber. I have a purpley burnt umber, and I'm going to come down here And I'm going to squiggle it up and down so it has a little bit of texture. And I'm going to leave that little vine there. I'm going to reinforce that when I'm done with this. I want to get some indigo and put it in here. It was all sort of mid-value. And now we need to just add some spots of dark value. Some more of this brown. I want to leave a little bit of texture in there. I think that already looks really good. Okay, so let's get, I think I'm going to go for some, I think this is Perylene. That's Undersea. Get some Perylene green, which really is sap green mixed with some Payne's gray. Go around, not outline it, but add more dark to the leaf. And then I'm going to add water. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Not really touching the paper very hard. I'm just sort of dancing across the page. And this brush is on its side a little bit. I'm not using it with its tip up high. And now some water. A little more paint. I don't want squiggles. I just want it to kind of blend, but also stand out. I know that doesn't make any sense. Oh, that is so pretty. And now I want to deepen this color. So I'm going to get the indigo and add it to this that we had going, which is the burnt umber and the purple. So now I'm just going to add a little bit more dark to contrast. And blend it out. And I'm going to add more of that green up here. And blend it. And then I want to do this. Soften that. So do you see what I mean? How it's standing out, but it's also blending in? There isn't a hard line right here. And I'm going to leave this how it is. So now we sort of have a balance, dark, and then a dark value there. I am all done. I am really happy with this, and I had a really good time creating this. Have fun with your painting. Don't worry about how it's going to look until the end. Just follow my simple steps. Do one big wash and put some saran wrap on it with a book. Then when it's dry, figure out the shape of pumpkin you want and take a dark color and cut out the pumpkin with that. That's called negative painting. I did negative painting to get this shape. And then when that was dry, we added some middle value leaves and then some background, and then we added some dark values and tried to get some depth back here. Look at your painting through a photo. Take a photo with your phone and look at it that way, and you'll be able to see it better. What we're looking at as we're painting sometimes does not come through to our brain. It is the next day, and I have been thinking about this background a lot. I took it off and I thought I was done, and I was going to go ahead and do the video, and I thought I want to make this be a dark sky with stars in it. I'm going to go ahead and now leave it like this if you like it. I am going to go ahead and mix up a really dark color over here. I'm going to use some ultramarine. I think this is French ultramarine, doesn't really matter. And for this I want a really pigmented mix. I always find it's really easy to get my indigo off the pan. Okay, so now I'm just going to start over here at this leaf, and I'm going to go right around this little curlicue, which I actually didn't go over and darken back when I thought I was done. And I made this a leaf, but I think I'm going to go right over it. Make that curlicue. And this is the fun thing you can do. If you don't like something, you can change it. There are no rules. And here now I'm negative painting the little vine. As much as I loved these mixes that we made with the horizon blue and the transparent orange, I'm tucking that information away in my brain for another day, another painting. You always learn something. I'm gonna go right in the middle there. Now I'm going to blend this out. So I don't want to lose this down here. And now I'm going to use a damp brush there. I use my bigger brush to do that. There. Now let's come over here to this side. Now if I had actually planned this out, I would have left this lighter. You could also use ink here. It would go really quickly and it would cover more. I'm kind of hoping that some of this color shines through. Actually, I'm gonna get some water on that. There's that little vine. A little water. And you can kind of see that blue peeking through there. And now here is where I'm going to blend it. I just love this. I'm absolutely thrilled with it now. And I really like that this little bit of blue over here is still peeking out, like the moon might be over here or something. I'm going to use a white gel pen now and put a few little stars in the sky. Normally I would splat some stars, but I don't want to risk getting white and having to fix more. I'm just going to put lots of little white dots. And then some of them you can dab up. Oh, maybe not. I thought we could dab some of them up and make them look a little fainter. But I have a trick for that. Don't worry. And then I'm going to put a few bigger ones randomly around. Then you can get your wet brush on some of them and just move some of that pigment. Ooh, some of them are glowing now. If you hit it when the white ink is still wet, they might blur a little. Oh, I need to put some between the stem and the vine. I'm going to wait a second to do this to that. And now it's done. Now it's not bothering me anymore. I really love it. I hope that you give this a try. Either way is fine. Do whatever you want to do it. But I want you to try to do the background and then carve out a pumpkin shape of some kind. It can be long, can be wide and fat, and maybe skinny. Do whatever you want with it, but try some different techniques out and see where the paint leads you. So with that, thanks so much for watching and happy Halloween. Have a great day.